Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to do a project that I seen on Facebook, and it was done by Paperbag, and I've watched her videos a few times, and she makes some pretty cool looking stuff. Now this particular project that she did, she said she seen on Kathy's garden, but I couldn't find Kathy's video to see how she did it. But I really like the way this one was done, so I have to make one. Now I have all my pieces cut out and everything, my sizes, and I'll let you know all of the sizes and everything, but it's just easier for me to have everything prepared. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other videos. Now this is called, well, on Paperbag, she called it a paper bag notebook. So it's just done with one of the small lunch bags, and she cut it right in this crease to cut the bottom off. And she cut this part of it off up here. So I already have one that's done, so I'm going to use it. So this is like the size that mine turned out. I guess it actually would depend on your paper bag. Now, it's the size that's finished. She turned the edges under and she glued them, just to kind of stabilize them a little bit. So because these bags are flimsy. So my finished size is approximately 7.5 by 5.25. So now you're going to take your bag and you're going to fold it over however far you think you want it to go over, because it's going to be like a little booklet. So you can leave it back farther. You can take it up farther. I decided I creased mine the first time because I thought I wanted it up here, but I moved it back some. So my crease, where I creased mine, is about 1, 2, 3. Oh, let me see. 1, 2, 3. Mine's about 2 5/8. But like I say, you can do yours however you want. And then you take a piece of paper and you cut it for your outside. So this is going to be the back of your little booklet, and this is going to be the front cover. So it's going to look like this when it's glued on. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on, and she left a little edge around the outside of it, and I like that. That looks nice like that. I have all of my pieces numbered and everything, so I know what goes where, because there's quite a few pieces. Well, first, I want to round my corners. So let me do that first. I'm going to round my corners on everything. I haven't rounded any of them yet, so we'll do it as we go. If the video starts getting too lengthy, then I'll go off and do some of it. I don't want it to be too super long. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Has anyone else seen her do this video? I just really like the way it turned out. I would like to find Kathy's video to see how she did it. I already have my paper creased, so I know about where it sits on there. We'll go something like that. And of course, this is not going on straight, you know. At first, I was going to put the brown paper on the outside, but I didn't cut it right, so we have this paper on the outside, and I like that. And then, you know, you have these creases from the way the bags are folded, but your papers will cover it over. Now, around her outside edges, she sewed it, so you can sew if you want to, or you can just glue. I think I need to glue it, or put a little bit more glue on there. I must have cut that. Didn't remember it being loose like that before. Okay. And they don't always come out completely straight either, because there's nothing straight about these bags to begin with. So, you know. And it is just made to look kind of scrappy. Okay, so now on the inside, you don't want to put anything on this crease, because that's where your signature is going to go in. So I cut this piece. Oh, and wait a minute, I didn't tell you the size of this one. I cut this one about 7 1/8 by about 5 7/8, or 4 7/8. Now this piece here, I cut at 2 1/4 by just under 5, just about 5. And I'm going to glue that on here. Now if you have directional paper, you're going to want to watch your direction. And then 2, watch your score line. And then on this one, this is going to be the cover for the back flap. The inside back flap is 5 inches by 4 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and glue these on. Now on her video, she cut all of her paper as she went, but I'm not going to do that. Let me wipe these corners off real quick and torn around them. I almost forgot. And they're not going to do that because it's wet. So we'll see if we can stick these together. Let me just wipe all of this glue off, or I'm going to have a mess. Pretty soon it's all going to be dry anyway. I need to keep my corner rounder over here so I don't forget what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright, so we'll cut these edges together. And then before you glue anything on, if you want it inked, then you're going to ink in advance. You know, you're going to ink before you stick it down. The brown definitely doesn't need inked. Okay, now let's try this again. Okay, so there's that one. And this one. And you can leave whatever size border you want around it if you want a border. So that folds over nice, and these two go together good. And then in here we have pockets, 2 spots for pockets. And I'm going to put tags in them. All right, now for the paper, I'll tell you the different sizes for the papers. She did it in a waterfall effect. I have to erase some of my pencil marks. And I want to go ahead and round my corners. Well, you know what? I'm just going to tell you the dimensions, and then I'll round the corners because I'm going to have to do some of them together. The very first one is 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And then you just fold your paper in half. And if you have a direction, you know, if your paper's directional, then you're going to want to watch how you're cutting it, how it's going to place in there. Because my birds are going across the page, so that's how I cut that one. The second one is 5.5 by 4.5. And then the direction on this, yeah, it could be either way, but I just left it going this way, and that's fine. And this fits inside of this one, and that's how you get your waterfall. So they're cut the same width, but they're cut different lengths. This one is 6.5 by 4.5. And then this one will sit inside. This one is 7.5 by the 4.5. And that sits inside here. Love this paper. And then this one is 8.5 by the 4.5. And then that sits in there. Then they sit into your little booklet like this. And that makes your booklet. So I'm going to just go off real quick, round my edges, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all them rounded, and I wasn't rounding my edges, I was rounding my corners. So that's what it looks like. And then that sits in there. So let me let me see. What do I want to do now? I think I'm going to go ahead and add some of the decorations on. I thought I would just put this on here if you wanted to write little notes. It would just be a cute little tag for notes. And then on the back, I have this postcard with the butterfly on it. And just for decoration, I'm going to have this on there. Let me round the corners on this one also. Generally in advance, I try to do all of this stuff, but you know, sometimes it gets away from me. So I'm just going to put that in the center. And then I'm going to go to the front and decorate the front. And I'm not the last thing in forgetting it. I thought this clock on this tag looked really cute, and I'm going to put this on here, and it says choose to shine. So let me see. Put that on there and hold that down. Now on this one, I don't know if I said it when I come back on or not. I'm not really going to ink on this one. I like the colors the way they are. But, you know, feel free to ink or do however you like. When she did hers, she inked around all of the pages. I don't think she did a lot of decorating. But sometimes when you get something, you know, that's started, then you can finish it how you like it. Now, before I sew all of these in, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to decorate my pages. Now, I'm not decorating the back of them. I'm just decorating the front of them. So I'm just going to put some little pieces on them, little tags, stuff like that. I don't actually know if I want to round all these corners. I liked the butterfly rounded. Maybe I will. I can just put them all together and round them, and it'll be good. I don't want to put too many together because I don't want to break my corner rounder. So how's everyone doing today? Couple different times I've had trouble uploading my videos. Hopefully that's all worked out. So a couple of them haven't gotten up or haven't gotten put on YouTube the day that they were supposed to, so I don't know. What are you gonna do? I love these. I think they're so pretty. They're just like little quarter postcards or half postcards. Okay. Now we can move on. Now, if you wanted these inked, then you would do that now. All right, so I'm going to put this one on here. And I thought this one looked really cute on here. Now, in her video, I think most all of her papers were like tea or coffee dyed on the back. Now, I just think this is just all regular scrapbook paper. I think it would be cool to have all of them coffee dyed, but I wouldn't want to have to cut down my 12 by 12 scrapbook paper and put it through the printer to print a coffee dyed on there. And I don't know, maybe coffee dye in the scrapbook paper would work. I haven't tried to coffee dye scrapbook paper. I don't know how the inks in them are. They should be all right. Maybe I'll have to try that. Otherwise, you can go over them with ink, kind of tone down the white in the back. And then I'm going to put this on here. I think this is really pretty. But for right now, the insides of mine, they're just white, so, but you get a lot of journaling space. Just a fun little notebook, something different. Would make great gifts too. You could do this as a mass make. You know, you don't have to have, now these papers are all from the same scrapbook thing. I can't remember what it's called, and I don't have it right here. But they all come out of the same scrapbook thing, so they all go together. All right, so now, before I do my pockets, or I mean my tags for my pockets, I'm going to go ahead and sew these in. I'm going to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm not going to do it on video. Most everybody has seen it, and the ones that haven't seen it, there's a lot of videos where they show how to do it, but I don't really want to do it on video. I can do some things better when I'm not on video. So it'll sit in here like this. And you just put it in there and secure it. Thought I had some of my long, I have a couple. I had some more long paper clips in here. These two should be okay. So you just make your holes, space them. Some people will make a little thing the width of your signature and make the holes even. I don't always make the holes even, but I'm going to go off and do that. So I would make one about here, and one about there. I'm going to go off and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's all sewed in. Maybe one of these days in one of my videos, I'll be more relaxed to sew it in. I can't remember if I sewed one in on video or not, but see, they're not all even, but they look just fine. So now we're going to go ahead and do our tags. So the tags for the two front pockets, because I call them two, you have two spaces here. They are about 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. 4 and 5 eighths by 2 and 5 eighths. Okay. And then they'll slip down in here, down in each side. And then I made the mat just a little bit smaller. It is 4.5 by 2.5. So both of these are the same size. And I'm going to go ahead and round my corners so I don't forget. If you round your corners together, if you have them cut a little bit smaller, round your corners together, and when you pull it back, it'll match. Let me go ahead and do this one. I'm just shooting these little papers all over the place. Okay. Now let me clean this mess up. When you have everything done and you know, it's different when you're doing it on video. When you're doing it by yourself, you can just move right along and the stuff doesn't take very long. But when you're doing it on video, it takes a little extra time. So there we go. So I'm just going to glue these on. I like all the colors in these papers. Okay, now in the center of this one, I'm just going to put this little circle label. And then in the center of this one, I'm going to put this one. Now these didn't come with this this scrapbook bundle, but they're pretty and the colors go good. Now on my tags, I'm going to use these as the tabs. I'm going to get it in the center as good as I can. And on the back of these, if you want to add extra paper, you know, a lighter colored paper, you can. But with a dark ink, you can still see to write on them. I think them look cute with the circles. Oops, what am I doing? I want these to match, to go up and down. I almost put glue around the whole thing. Okay, so we have that one. We'll just stick that in there. And our little tabs will stick out a little bit. And that doesn't hurt a thing. I don't think I got him in the center very good. But I don't think they have to be completely in the center. They can be off a little bit. Sometimes it looks nice when they're staggered. Okay, so now we'll do our big tags for the back or for the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and round these corners. And again, like I say, if you want to ink, then you would ink after you get your corners rounded. Normally, I would go along and I would round all these corners. And if I was going to ink, then I would have it already done. But I guess sometimes it's good to do some of it on video. And you can actually see what you're doing. So there's that one. And I'll round these corners just because I think it'll look better. Same way with this one. I really like the colors in these. I think they're so pretty. And then the black on here, that's just part of the paper. Okay. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and glue these two down, put their toppers on, and I'll be right back. Okay, got them all done. Now these ones I swapped the things because this one didn't go with this anyway. And I actually think my intentions on the other ones was to swap them, but they're done. So that's all good. I'm going to put the white one in the front so it doesn't blend in so much with the background on that. And that goes like that. So now you open up your pockets and you have your tags. And then you can write a little note. You can start journaling. Look at that, I have these things thrown all through here. Some more journaling. You can write on here, make little notes. And then you start going back to your smaller pages. You can add extra stuff to the back of these. You can add pictures, anything like that. And that's what your little booklet looks like. Then you have your pockets down here. in your pocket there. You just gotta watch they don't slide in too far because you don't want it to go past that, which it shouldn't because your threads are there. Okay, now for my closure, I'm just going to use this, and this is says chiffon ribbon. Well, to me it's just fabric cut in strips, but I think the colors go pretty good with it. It was the best color scheme that I could find to go with it. So that's what we're going to use. And I think it's wide enough and thick enough that I don't need to go around it more than once. Just have to be careful that I don't crush my little tabs. So I could tie it up there. I want to go just a little bit bigger. Now I was going to do baker's twine. She actually, I'm going to say she put a circle here and wrapped her baker's twine around it. I thought I had brown baker's twine, and I think it would have went good. The colors of baker's twine that I have really wouldn't go with this. And if you didn't want to wrap it, you could always just paper clip it. I think maybe I would like that better than this even. I think, to me, the paper clip looks nice. So I think I would just rather do that. I think it looks better. So you could probably do it that way or this way. Yeah, I like that better, just like that. So that's my video for today. Now back here on the back, if you wanted another pocket, you could put it on. This paper is light enough that it can be written on, so that would be extra journaling space also. So let me know what you think. Do you like it? And do you think you'd try to make one? So I hope everyone comes back for my next video, and until then, happy crafting, everyone. Bye for now.